Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are going to make a first attempt at a tacos al pastor. And the road to this recipe started probably 2 years ago when I got the idea of cutting up a beer keg and turning it into a vertical charcoal rotisserie to make al pastor and shawarma. And then last summer I actually made the rig, and I've got a couple of videos about that, and you can check those out. And then Julie and I went to Mexico City for a week. And we spent a week eating more tacos al pastor than is humanly possible. And we also stuck our heads into a lot of kitchens. We knocked on a lot of doors in the middle of the afternoon. And what we found was everybody was more than willing to let us into the kitchen and talk to us about their recipe. They all held something back. They all had little secrets, which is fine. Every kitchen has its little secrets. I took a lot of notes. We made videos about it. We tasted a lot of al pastor. And then we went back to Mexico in November and spent a week and worked a couple of days with one chef in particular to sort of hone in on the recipe. And what I've learned is tacos al pastor is not one thing. It's many, 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 many different recipes. Really what I've learned is the trompo goes out, it's cooked roadside, it's sliced off really thin, it's put onto a corn tortilla and people eat it. But the makeup of what's on that trompo, beyond being pork, can be very different from shop to shop to shop. And I don't think anyone's right. I don't think anyone's wrong. There were some that I liked more than others. And this is where we're at. So I'm going to start out. I've got a pot of water here. It is just coming up to a simmer, almost to a boil. I've got two types of chilies. I've got a guajillo chili and an ancho chili. These are dried chilies. I've taken the stems and the seeds out already. And I'm going to pop those into this water. And I just want to cook those in the hot water 10-15 minutes until they soften. Now, of the places we went to in Mexico City, some used one or the other of those chilies, and some used both. I decided I really liked the flavor of both together, so that's what we're going with, both together. Next thing that was different everywhere was what kind of juice did they use? Some people used pineapple juice and only pineapple juice. Some people used orange juice and only orange juice. Some people used both. Some people used a sweet orange juice, while others used bitter orange juice that they were juicing themselves. Those were the ones that I thought were amazing. Problem is, I can't really get bitter oranges here right now, so I'm going to use orange juice and pineapple juice mixed together. Some places didn't use pineapple juice. What they did was take whole pineapple, put it into the blender jug and blend that up instead of using just the juice. I could do that too, but I think I'm just going to go with the juice. So, and some orange juice into the blender jug. Next choice is vinegar. And I saw a bunch of different vinegars used, everything from just plain white distilled vinegar to pineapple vinegar, which I don't have enough of. I've got a little bit. And everybody else used just pure apple cider vinegar. Pretty much distilled from a jug like this. They weren't using anything terribly expensive or artisanal. They certainly weren't using stuff that had live culture in it. Really what you're looking for is the flavor. Because you're cooking this, live culture is meaningless. So we're going to put that into the jug. Now, of course, I never saw anyone in any one of these restaurant kitchens measure anything. It was all done by eye. All done by eye. And that's just years of experience. This is my first attempt. I'm measuring. So, next in, I've got 4 garlic cloves. Pretty much to a T, everyone used garlic cloves. Next in, I have cloves, just 3. And some of the places used them and some of the places didn't. Kind of a mixed bag on that. Next, salt and pepper. Everybody had salt and pepper. Mexican oregano, a must-have. Cumin. Cumin was a must-have everywhere. And I've got some onion. That goes in. So that's just 1 onion, and I've quartered it just to make it easier for the blender. The next thing we need to talk about, I guess, is this achiote or annatto. So achiote paste is made from annatto seeds, and it is used as a food coloring. It's a natural food coloring to make things turn orange. If you've ever had any cheese in North America that's cheddar, that's orange, chances are it was colored with this. Now, about half of the places we went to used this to make their Trompeau a bright, brilliant orange, whereas the rest of them didn't do that, and their Trompeau was more of a dull yellow. Other than a visual, I didn't detect a difference in taste from the achiote paste. So I'm not going to use it. I'm looking for something that isn't electric orange, so I'm going to leave that out. Okay, the peppers are softened up, so I'm going to put those into the blender. Put the lid on and liquefy. So that looks really good. Let's give it a taste, see if we're in the right ballpark. Next job is to cut up the meat. So I've got a couple of pieces of pork shoulder here. And depending on where we were, it looked like they were adding some other things in as well, but most of it was pork shoulder. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. So it's this weird sort of fight between a couple of different kinds of acid. You can really pick out the different acids in there. So the vinegar and the pineapple and a little bit from the orange juice. There's heat from the chilies. You can taste the oregano. There's all kinds of different flavors in there, and you can make them all out. And I hope that over the time that this marinades, that will soften. So I've got these two pieces of pork. I'm going to take off the skin and then slice these as thinly as I can. Okay, not the greatest slicing ever. Not nearly as thin as I saw anywhere on our travels, but I will get better. I'm pretty sure I'll get better. So in here I have all the pork. Got a couple of bones here, and I've got the pieces of skin. Now, I'm going to marinate the skin as well to drape over the top of the Trompeau, although it won't be much of a Trompeau, I don't think. So in goes the marinade. And I'll just use the tongs just to mix it through, make sure that everything is coated. Okay, I've got all the meat fully coated. I'm going to put the skin in and do the same thing. I've got a couple of bones here. I'll make stock with that. And I've got some leftover marinade. Now, that marinade never touched the pork, so there's no cross-contamination. I'm going to take that and I'm going to boil it down, reduce it a little bit, and make a really nice, flavorful sauce to drizzle on top of my tacos. So this is going to go into the fridge, 24 hours. I'll see you tomorrow when we make the Trompeau and cook this up. We have reached the part of the video that I have been dreading since coming up with this whole thing, and that's where I build the Trompeau. The guys in Mexico City make it look so easy. And one of the reasons they make it look so easy is they're dealing with a lot more meat. And so, because I only have 3.5 kilos of pork, I've got too many small pieces and not enough big pieces. And with a giant Trompeau, you can hide the small pieces up close to the spit and have the bigger pieces outside stabilizing the whole thing. And you can make that shape that everybody has come to expect. Although I found often that shape didn't translate into great flavor. The more that shape was there, the less flavorful I found the tacos al pastor. So I'm going to start out, and I'm just going to start threading pieces on. And I'm going to see if I can build something that is kind of workable, and we'll see where it goes. And so not every piece is threaded through the top of the spit. They often put smaller pieces and just sort of pack them around the inside. Okay, so far it's kind of sloppy, and I really should take a knife and trim this down around the outside to make it nice and flat. That was the overall majority of trompos that we saw in Mexico City. There were some that were sloppy like this, and they worked just fine. Now, if I was building something that was bigger, I would be trimming it, and then I could use those trim-off pieces back into the middle as I built it bigger and bigger and bigger out. I just don't have that luxury. Like I said earlier, I don't have enough meat. And the meat I have, I didn't get enough really big slices out of the muscles to make that happen. So I'm just going to continue on and do the best I can, because in the end, I don't think it's going to affect flavor. I've got some skin here with an extra layer of fat, and I'm just going to put those on top just to let the fat render out and drip down as this whole thing cooks. It's also going to add a little bit of stability to the whole trompo. So let's see, can I get it on here? There we go. Last but not least is the pineapple. And I'll push this down tight just to hold everything together. There we go. Not the most beautiful trompo I've ever seen, but you know, you've got to start somewhere. This is my first time making it all on my own. I think I did pretty well. Now, the fire is hot, so let's go out to the grill and get this spinning. Now, carrying this trompo to the grill is so much easier than what those guys in Mexico City do every day.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
So Glenn, you don't quite have the flair
I don't.
of other...
Who knew your first time out it was going to be so hard? But I think it worked out really well, so we'll find out. I've got 3 kinds of salsa. I've got a green salsa, regular sort of red salsa. I've got the sauce that I marinated the pork in, which is really good.
I see you've got some cabbage, which I really like.
Cabbage, onion, and cilantro. Sort of the 3 that we saw most often on the street in Mexico City.
Onion for me. Thanks.
So I'm just going to go with cilantro and onion to start, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
All right, it's looking good. I've got a little
It smells great.
cabbage, cilantro, a little salsa, pineapple.
That's the flavor. Mm-hmm. That's the flavor. The only thing missing is ambiance. It's a little quiet in our backyard on a Tuesday afternoon.
That's pretty good.
It is really good. So it was easy. It really was easy. The only thing was the time for marinating. You could do this on a regular grill. Mm-hmm. You could do it on a horizontal rotisserie. You could just put the pieces of pork on a barbecue and barbecue them off.
Yeah, we've done it in a pan.
Or on a flat top.
Yep. There's so many ways to cook it. It's just having the right flavors.
Yeah.
Really is
One of the chefs showed us in his kitchen at his home how to do it on a flat top, and it tasted just as good.
yeah. So
You don't need all the fancy stuff, but you know, that's a great piece of kit. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll probably keep working on this. I'll probably keep trying. I'll try to get better with slicing right from the start. But I think we're going to move on next to other vertical rotisserie meats. Maybe a chicken shawarma next.
I have very little to say. I have too much taco in my mouth.
So we're just going to hang out here all afternoon. Mm-hmm. Slice off tacos and have a...
Although I have learned that 10 is too many for me.
So, thanks for stopping by. Stay safe. See you again soon.